I do not feel like making this video, so you know what we're gonna do today? We're gonna make this video because that is exactly the point of the entire video.
Look what you created. Everything surrounding me, you made it. Everything.
Your feelings are unreliable. One day you could be completely on fire for God, and the next day you could not even feel like praying. But listen, here's the truth. Feelings are fleeting, and we need to stop focusing on what we feel, and we need to focus on our faith. We need to focus on what God has said. Because if we sit here and we just run strictly off of our emotions, then we're going to be what we call lukewarm. I think, honestly, going off of your feelings leads to lukewarmness, because just because you don't feel God doesn't mean he's not there. Your faith will tell you that God's there even when I don't feel him. Your faith will tell you God is working even though it doesn't feel like he's working. Your faith will tell you God is with me and he's walking with me even if you feel alone and lonely. Your faith is what you need to be letting guide you, not your emotions. But as you guys can tell, obviously we're talking about feelings over faith. Oh wait. Y'all, I just got off of work. Please cut me some slack. I just got off of work and I literally came straight in here and I set up all my stuff and said we are filming this video today because for the past week I have not felt like filming a video. Some of it was a little valid, some of it was, and feelings can be valid, but at some point it's like, hey, we need to do something, we need to do this. Today we're talking about faith over feelings and why we need to put our trust in our faith and not in our feelings. We need to focus on our faith and not on how we feel. First things first, your feelings cannot be trusted. And let me give you some Bible, of course. Let me give you some Bible. Proverbs 28:26 says, whoever trusts in his own mind is a fool, but he who walks in wisdom will be delivered. Jeremiah 17:9, the heart is deceitful above all things and desperately sick. Who can understand it? Y'all, desperately sick is crazy. Desperately sick is crazy. Our hearts are messed up. And the fact that the world's motto is follow your heart, that's actually like insane. And God tells us that our hearts are desperately sick. Who can understand it? And as someone who sometimes feels like this and sometimes feels like that, this is completely true, because this is not, our feelings are not a stable foundation to just lean on and just focus on all the time. This video is in no way or form me saying that our feelings are not important, because they are. It's what we do with our feelings that matter. And what we should not do with our feelings is let them lead us. Which actually leads me into my second point, which is that feelings are constantly changing and affected by sin. God has called us to live in our faith, not basically on how we feel. And our feelings are valid, but they don't validate things that we do, if that makes sense. Like, if someone passed away, it's okay that you feel sad. It's okay that you're frustrated and you're grieving, but it doesn't validate you going off and murdering somebody. That was a very intense example. Let me say something a little less crazy. Like, it's okay for us to feel happy and that we love someone, but that does not mean it's okay for us to have sex outside of marriage. But you could try and validate, be like, oh, I love him, I love them, but this is what is best. This is what my faith tells me. My faith tells me that God knows what's best for me, and he tells me to wait till marriage. And that's like a perfect example, actually, being led by your emotions, and it can lead you into sin. Doubt, fear, temptation, uncertainty towards sin is normal. We have to walk by faith despite all these things. We have to trust God despite all these feelings that we have. We have to trust God despite our feelings. Right now I'm really struggling in the waiting season that I'm in, and every day I go to work I'm just like frustrated. I'm sad. I don't want to be here. Why am I still here? But the only thing that literally keeps me going every single day, the only thing that keeps me going is the fact that I know God is working and I'm expectant for him to show up in my life and make big moves in my life. That is the only reason I carry on. That is the only reason why I'm not sitting in my bed crying right now, moping over my life, and I'm sitting here filming a video and doing the thing that God called me to do, because God gives me purpose and I know he has a plan for me, a good plan for me. And if I sit here and I'm in my feelings, we need to be in our faith, you know, that we need to be in our faith and not in our feelings. We need to be feeding the word to ourselves. And it's okay that I'm frustrated with the job I have right now. God knows I'm frustrated and he knows I'm sad and he knows everything. He already knows these things. I need to bring my feelings to him and then preach his promises back to me. I've told you this. I've said I'll be with you. I said I'll walk with you. I know he knows what my calling is. He knows what he's going to do in my life. And I just need to trust in all those things. It's okay to cry. It's okay to feel. It's not okay it's not okay to sin. And it's not okay to not have faith, you know? Something that I saw earlier that I wrote down: it is impossible to please God without faith. That's Hebrews 11:6. So chew on that. It's crazy. Sorry. So on that note of following your heart, don't follow your heart, follow Jesus. Hey, so Editing Tiffany here, and I just wanted to quickly mention that I made a faith over feelings guide with scriptures and affirmations that will help you trust God over those emotions when those emotions comes up. The link is in my bio. It's completely free. All you have to give me is your email. It's completely free. FREE free. And you should totally go click the link in bio and check it out. All right, back to the video. Love you guys. At the risk of sounding corny and cringy, I'm going to say it anyway, but literally thinking about what would Jesus do? How would Jesus handle this situation? And if you find yourself being a little stuck when you ask yourself that, that is your sign to go draw near to God and to go get to know Jesus more, because Jesus had emotions. Jesus felt. Jesus wept. And that is the biggest thing I love about my Savior, is that he understands all my emotions. He's felt everything that I felt. And he's walked through exactly what I've walked through. And he walked through worse things. And it's really comforting to know that he understands. I have a God who understands me because he's actually been through exactly what I've been through. So yes, we need to not focus on our feelings. We need to focus on our faith and not follow our heart. Follow Jesus. So just on how we can shift our focus from our feelings to our faith is the number one thing. Even today, it's so great that I'm making this video today because I literally went through this today. Like I was telling you guys my feelings about work and where I'm at and the waiting season that I'm in. Instead of me sitting around moping, hating my life at work, I literally sat in this journal right here and I just wrote Bible verses that encouraged me during my waiting season. I literally just wrote them in my journal whenever I had a free moment and I didn't have a member. I just wrote Bible verses. I was like reading articles about waiting seasons and just praying through my emotions. I even prayer journaled a little bit, just praying through my emotions and bringing everything that I'm feeling to God. It's very important for you to be honest with God and to bring your true emotions to him and tell him exactly how you feel, because he cares and he told you to cast your burdens onto him. He wants to know how you feel. He wants to know that you're sad, you're angry, you're this, you're that. He wants to know because he cares. And that's just another thing, is just to stay in your word, because when these feelings come about and you don't know what to do with them, you're just going to follow them. You're just going to let them rule you. We have to be able to, when those thoughts pop into our head based off of our emotions, we have to be able to feed the word of God back to it, saying, hey, this sucks, my life sucks, everything stinks. Saying, hey, God is working. This is not going to be here forever. You're not going to be here forever. Everything is working out for good. Don't stop. Don't grow weary of doing good. These are all Bible verses, by the way. I'm paraphrasing terribly, but those were all Bible verses. You know, all things work together for those who love God. All things. That's a promise. We have to be able to preach those things to ourselves, because if we don't, we're just going to run off of emotions and run off of the thoughts that are in our head and just let the enemy win. But we have to fight back. And then we have to fight back with the word. And the hardest thing probably to do is just to obey anyway, despite your feelings, no matter what's going on. If God had you somewhere you don't like, you have to obey anyway. As much as I want to quit my job and go somewhere, find something else, I know that I was like telling this to myself earlier, like I know God's going to open a door before he closes the one that I'm in right now. And me trying to close the door before it's ready to be closed is me taking things into my own hands and running off of my feelings. Hey, this feels bad. This feels stupid. Because I know like at every job I'm going to have a problem. So I'm like, I might as well just stay here, stick it out until God opens that door for me to create the career that I want and be what I want to be. You know, that's me obeying anyway. That's just an example. And I think it's just like surrounding yourself with people who will constantly remind you of what God has done in your life and how he did it before and he'll do it again, and just encouraging people. I pray everyone always has encouraging people in your life. And something God has taught me is that you don't always need a big, gigantic group of people. Sometimes all it takes is just one person in your life to be preaching the truth to you, to be telling the truth to you, encouraging you. That is all you need. And I just pray that even if that someone is just the Lord speaking to you in the Bible, I pray for you watching this that he brings someone in your life to just preach the truth to you and to encourage you in your life, whatever you're going through, and to know that it's okay to have the feelings that you have, but just know we have to go off of our faith and not off of those feelings. And half the time the devil like puts us in situations that he knows is going to get us like riled up, get us angry, get us sad, emotional, all these things to throw us off. Like he wants you to hate your life. He wants you to hate the position God has put you in. He wants you to lose hope. He wants you to grow weary. But God has told you all these things and he's promised you all the things. And we have to be able to, like Jesus did in the garden, when the devil comes at us with these things and the scenarios come up to us, we have to be able to preach back to those lies. I think I'm saying everything that I want to say, but just to wrap this video up, do not let your feelings dictate your faith. Let your faith dictate your feelings. Like I said, it's just that preaching the truth back to yourself, no matter how you feel, obeying no matter how you feel. And this is something I'm constantly learning, especially in the season that I'm in. And I really just felt the need to share this because I know how hard it is. I really do know how hard it is to be in your feelings. It's really easy, and the world wants us, and they preach to us like be in your feelings and all these things. You have a right to do this, you have a right to do that, but God says different. God says to do what he says, and that's what we should always do. And I just want to encourage you to think about how can you choose your faith over your feelings this week, no matter what situations God puts you in, no matter what the devil tries to throw at you. How can you continue to choose your faith over your feelings always? And for me, it's just to continue doing what I'm doing and not growing weary of doing good in the season that I'm in, and just continue to fight the good fight and believe in what the Lord has told me he would do in my life, and just trust in that and hope in that. And yeah, I love you guys very, very much. I appreciate you so much for clicking on this video. I really do hope the Lord spoke through this video, and I really hope you choose God over those feelings. Choose the word over your feelings and just obey no matter what. In the long run, it's a much better path. I've noticed, not like sulking in my feelings, but choosing to have faith instead, choosing to have hope instead, choosing to do what Jesus would do, you know. But yeah, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I will see you guys in another video very soon. Bye.